In our Washington studio is Lester Munson. He's a principal at BGR Group, a leading government relations firm here in Washington, D.C. Lester, welcome to the program. Let me begin with Kentucky. What happens if Governor Matt Bevin does not give up his seat and basically does not accept what the Democrats are saying?
Well, he's got to give up his seat. He lost the election, and he lost it fair and square.
But he's not conceding.
Well, you know, concession is not required in the law, I suppose. At a certain point, the person who won the race, Bashir, will take over, and he'll be the governor of Kentucky, unless there's a recount, in which case there's a real process for that. But I wouldn't be too worried about there being some sort of extra legal takeover in Kentucky.
So what do you make of the fact that Trump won Kentucky back in 2016 by a pretty good margin? He campaigned there last week. I mean, why did Governor Bevin not do as well as he should have?
Well, I think Governor Bevin may have had some issues of his own that people in Kentucky were concerned about that manifested themselves in low ratings, and he lost some votes because of his own behavior. I think there is a point that President Trump has not been terrific for some people on some ballots, certainly in Virginia, where we saw a lot of Republicans lose in the suburbs. I think a lot of that is because of Trump policies, or more specifically because Republican Party officials in those areas were supporting Trump policies that are really better for rural areas and not so much for suburban and urban areas.
So let's talk about Virginia. How significant are these gains in the Virginia State House?
Well, I think they're real. Virginia is not a liberal state. It's a moderate to conservative state that the Democrats now have swept a lot of the seats. They control the state legislature. That should be a warning for Republicans, and I hope it's a warning to the White House that the president needs to do more to reach out to suburban voters, that just going after his base is not going to be enough to win in 2020.
What about gun control issues in Virginia? How much did that help the Democrats? Gun control activists spend a lot of money in NRA's backyard, pretty much.
I think that's an issue, but it's one of several, and it's one, again, where the two parties really are unable to get to a middle ground. That hurts Republicans in the suburbs in particular. Even conservatives in the suburbs are generally a little more inclined to support some modest gun control measures. So it hurt Republicans, but there were some other issues that hurt as well.
And the Mississippi race, not really a big surprise, the fact that the Republicans are holding on to the governorship.
Not a surprise. That's as red a state as you're going to find. I think President Trump is hugely popular there. The Republicans, it would have been catastrophic for them to have lost that race.
But, Lester, the margin was by only 5 percentage points, far smaller than Trump's 18 points back in 2016.
Yeah, and you wonder what would the vote total have been if Trump had been at the top of the ticket in Mississippi. I think the margin would have been greater. I think he does help in some places. Mississippi is probably one of those.
And if you're President Donald Trump and his GOP base, should you be worried for next year's election?
Well, I think he should be. I hope he's worried. He should be running as if he's going to lose. You know, that's what good candidates do. My concern is that he's going to run a race where he's going to try and turn out his base, and it's going to be a turnout model. He's not going to reach out for those independent voters or those suburban voters. I think for him to have a chance in 2020, he needs to demonstrate to suburban voters that he understands their values and he shares them, at least to some extent, before they're going to trust him with their vote.
Lester Munson, thank you, as always.
Thank you.